Jordan lost and found laces, white or black. That's very important. And in Canada being eliminated out the World Cup. People are stuck in toxic relationships because they're afraid of being alone. Whew. Yes, duh, 1000%. We all know it's trademark infringement. But instead of suing him and taking him to court, why not approach him and say, hey, why don't you design something for us? Or hey, why don't we do a collab? China COVID restrictions. LeBron James coming for Jerry Jones. It just highlights the stark difference between LeBron and Jordan for that. I don't know, man. I never want to say I agree with Candice Owens, and like people were saying in the comment section, like great message, wrong message. Like Drake and CP3 and Kanye West, diversity chief, leaving after 6 months. The third person to leave in 2 years. You guys know I have a little bit of beef with Nike. I'll just leave that one there. I have them pinned at the top of my Instagram if you want to read more about that. All right. Hey. I don't know why I like this music so much.
Powered by Riverside.
What up, y'all? Woo! Hey. What up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the weekly Out Loud News, brought to you by the Trent Out Loud Podcast. And I am your host, Trent Out Loud. Woo! Yes, it feels very, very weird cheering for yourself, by yourself, on a podcast, with yourself. But listen, I like my podcast. I like my podcast, and I like my sound effects. So I'm gonna continue doing it. For those of you who've been following me on my Exclusivity Instagram, you've noticed I've been posting a lot more kind of lifestyle blogs and news and events. I thought it'd be really cool to talk about the things that I post on Instagram and then bring it over to the Trent Out Loud Podcast and talk about it. So let's get started on the weekly events. Okay, so first, super hilarious. If you haven't seen this on my Instagram, go right now to Exorcity's Instagram and check out a video I posted of Jaylen Brown and Joe Mazzulla. I think it was, I'm sure it's probably after the game. Oh yeah, it was after the game because they asked them both, how did he feel about playing in front of royalty? Their answers were hilarious. The royal family has a lot of baggage, and they've done a lot of wrong in the past 1,000 years in their reign. So it's really funny to see how the rest of the world and thinks of them. And anyways, it's a really funny post. By the way, for those who's wondering why I'm wearing this toque and this hoodie, I went to Massachusetts this week, and my nephew is playing hockey, and their team did something for breast cancer awareness, and so this is why I'm wearing pink. And I got the toque at the game, and I'm wearing it on the show to support him and his team. Anyways, so the next post was China COVID restrictions. This was crazy. It's still going nuts. It had 58,000, close to 60,000 plays. 1,000 people liked it. 73 people commented it, and close to 2,000 people shared it, and close to 250 people saved it. I think people are still triggered by COVID, and also too, you should have seen the video. There's people coming in hazmat suits, dragging this guy out of his apartment because he was in close contact with somebody. I think it was contact tracing, and he was in close contact with somebody. And here in Canada or the Western world, we're you get a phone call hey, you're in close contact with John Brown, and now he has COVID, and we would like for you to go get tested. In China, they're coming in and grabbing you out the apartment, which is, it's nuts. And a couple of people were oh, there should be more context. We don't know what's going on in this video. What more context do you need of two guys in hazmat suits dragging this man out of his home? I understand, maybe there could be something more to it, but, I kind of doubt it, right? Where you hear this past week about all the COVID protocols and the lockdown protocols, and, and the Chinese government is now just letting up because of all these protests. So anyway, shout out to the people in China. I posted it hoping to try to bring some awareness, but yeah, it's crazy to see that the stuff that they're still going through with COVID. Anyways, next up, Drake with the CP3 jersey. This was hilarious. Quickly, Kanye West going on a rant like he has been doing for the past month or so. And I think one night he was like, hey, by the way, before I go, let me crash one more window. I caught Kim with Chris Paul. Those of you who don't know, Chris Paul plays for the Phoenix Suns, legendary basketball player, et cetera, et cetera. Anyways, everybody went wild, and Kim Kardashian came out the next day and was like, that's not true. Kanye is just trying to deflect from his Nazi comments and everybody, going crazy at him. So he's just making this stuff up. But somebody pulled up an old picture of Drake from a year ago when he was promoting Certified Lover Boy. And you know that Drake is like the subliminal troll master. Like, I never want to be in a beef with Drake. Like, the stuff that he did with Meek Mills, like, if you guys remember that was just crazy, the online stuff. Anyways, so you see Drake in a picture with him and two of his homies. I think Matt Mabel is in there and somebody else. And they're wearing CP3 jerseys, like one from, I think, his college jersey, one from, anyways, it was hilarious. So a year ago, we had no idea, why is Drake wearing the CP3 jerseys? But now we know, or what we're assuming is that Drake knew that Kim stepped out on Kanye with Chris Paul, and Drake knew about it, and he was trolling Kanye wearing those jerseys. Anyways, it was hilarious if you go and see the post. Kool K getting, again, sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Kool K or Kool Kai, sorry. Getting sued by Nike. All right, let me try to touch on this one quick. Most people in the comment section, and let's see how, like, this one, I don't think it got really that much. It was, reached 11,000 people, like 17 comments. But most of the comments, it's trademark infringement. Basically, what he was doing, he's taking the Jordan 1 and putting his logo on it and changing up the colors. It kind of looks pretty much kind of like a what the, for my sneaker heads out there. It was like a mashup, right? And he's taking off the Nike logo and putting his and the Jordan logo and putting his own logo on it. Now, I think what a lot of people are missing is, yes, 1,000%. We all know it's trademark infringement. We know it's wrong. But what the other people are saying that are on Kool K's side is, here's a black kid from the hood taking the Jordan 1, using it as inspiration, changing it up. Yes, he's making money on it. Yes, I totally understand it's wrong. But what his followers and what his supporters are trying to say is that Nike is a $40 billion company. Nike just released the Jordan 1 Lost and Found. It was the biggest release of the year. There's no Jordan 1 that's sitting on shelves. Jordan mids are doing amazing. The, inline Jordan 1 high, like any Jordan 1 Nike and Jordan are putting out is selling like crazy and selling off the shelf. So the point is that this trademark infringement is not hurting Nike and Jordan, and it's creating an opportunity for this black entrepreneur. Again, for sure he's trademark infringing, but instead of suing him and taking him to court, why not approach him and say, hey, why don't you design something for us? Or, hey, why don't we do a collab or whatever? And maybe they did. And maybe he didn't accept it, which I would highly, highly doubt. But what people are trying to say is that, like, he's not hurting Nike, and Nike doesn't need to take him to court to stop, him from eating off of this. So listen, from a business perspective, I see it. But also coming up from like a community perspective, I also see what his followers are saying. Next post is me in London, England. And I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I wasn't just there on a personal trip. Experience stores, stay tuned. LeBron James coming for Jerry Jones. I was going to say it's hilarious. Actually, it was amazing. The Jerry Jones, and for those of you who don't know, Jerry Jones, the owner of Dallas Cowboys, he was somebody found an old photo of him at a rally. I think it was when he's 14 years old. I don't know how old is he, 70, I don't know, 60 years ago, 65 years ago. And it was at a protest in his high school for to not allow black kids in his high school. And Jerry Jones came out and said, hey, I was just a curious kid at 14 years old, and I didn't mean anything by it. But he didn't like denounce racism. He didn't say anything or whatever. He just said, hey, I wasn't there in support of the rally. I was just there as a curious kid. Anyways, it kind of died down, and let me give some round of applause for LeBron for this. Yo, LeBron James at his press conference, just out of the blue, is like, hey, by the way, when Kyrie, was going through his stuff with, his anti-Semitic tweets, all day, every day, all you guys did was ask us about it. But how come you don't ask me anything about Jerry Jones? How come you just, let that lie underneath the rug? And yeah, I just thought it was really cool. And he asked them, he's like, look, when my people do something, treat us the same way that you treat, white, rich men. Like, instead of just letting that die down, and like treat my people the same way you treat your people is what he was asking. But it wasn't just that he was asking, it's just that he asked for it unquestioned or unprovoked. So I just thought that was huge of him to do. LeBron James is one of the biggest athletes in the world, and for him to take that kind of scrutiny and that take a knock to some people high up that were probably like, oh my gosh, why are you bringing this back up? And he did that for his people. He did that for his culture, And for those of you who don't know, I think it's like 1980 something. Somebody asked Michael Jordan if he would say something, denouncing Republicans or something or whatever. They asked him something about Republicans, and Michael Jordan said, listen, Republicans buy shoes too. So Michael Jordan has always been, and that's fine, he could be that way, but he's always said, like, look, I want to stay out of politics. He doesn't, he's not an advocate for, his community. Some people knock him for, listen, your shoes are bought predominantly by, Black kids in the hood, and we support you and your culture, whatever. And he's always just said, listen, I want to be an athlete, and I just don't want to use my voice for that, which he is allowed to do. But it just highlights the stark difference between LeBron and Jordan for that. So seriously, like, shout out to LeBron James for that. That post, 10,000 people, 160 likes, 22 comments, 35 shares. Not super crazy, but still shout out to LeBron for that. All right, quickly, Jordan 1 lost and found. White laces or black laces? For those of you who are not in the sneaker industry, you're probably like, who cares, black or white laces? But this is huge for us. The lost and founds are based on, well, they are the Chicagos, and the Chicago colorway, you got to wear black laces. So, I mean, this went pretty viral. Like, it reached 22,000 accounts. I had 800 likes, 102 comments, 70, gosh, see, this is my dyslexia, I cannot read numbers properly, 97 shares and 50 saves, predominantly black laces. Now, I'll be honest, at first I was like, yo, these white laces look kind of fresh. So I put white laces, and then I was like, yeah, there's something wrong. There's something off. I don't know what it is, and I couldn't figure it out. And then I saw the comments, and somebody was like, hello, it's the Chicago colorway. All Chicago colorways have to come out in black. And I was like, I knew it. I knew there was something, so I erased it and changed. But the white laces do look kind of fresh. I cannot lie. Candice Owens and Kim Kardashian. This was hilarious, and I wouldn't normally post stuff about Candice Owens because she is a Black woman who is a how do I put this lightly? She's a Republican, which is totally fine, but she is she makes a living, I don't want to say putting down the Black and minority race, but she always gives the white perspective on the Black and brown and minority community. She was the one who was wearing White Lives Matter t-shirt with Kanye West. Anyway, so Candice Owens came out and was like, Kim Kardashian is so just focused on the fashion industry. She doesn't want to piss off Anna Winters, and she wants to be on the cover of Vogue, so she has to be very careful. And, she's trying to just, bring down Kim, which I don't know, man. I never want to say I agree with Candice Owens. And like people were saying in the comment section, like, great message, wrong messenger. Like, Candice is, you got to think, if Candice is calling somebody out, like, it's, Obviously child pornography is wrong and what Balenciaga did was wrong, but it's like, Candice has a mandate for certain people, and I think she just likes going after people's heads. But dare I say, she may have been correct in coming after Kim. I think Kim should just outright denounce Balenciaga, at least for the near future, until they do some more investigation into the company and find out what the hell's going on for a kid holding a teddy bear in bondage to be posted in their summer 2023 campaign. Next up, Jordan for Maniere's Year of the Mold. This is super funny. Anyways, a lot of Jordans and a lot of retros have been coming out this quarter, and a lot of people have been finding mold on their shoes. But I mean, they saying it's a lot, like it's it's probably one out of every 100,000, but it gets posted on Instagram. But it's really funny that they're saying it's not the year of the Jordan, it's the year of the mold. And lastly, for Exo City Instagram, Canada being eliminated from the World Cup. I am not a huge soccer fan or football fan for those over in the other side of the world. And I haven't been watching much of the World Cup, I got to admit. But, shout out to Team Canada for, whatever games they did win. And we're sorry to see you go. And let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the World Cup. Again, I'm not like really following it that much, so my bad. And a bonus one, because this wasn't in this week, but Nike diversity chief is leaving after 6 months in the role, marking the third departure from this position in 2 years. Diversity chief leaving after 6 months. The third person to leave in 2 years. You guys know I have a little bit of beef with Nike. I'll just leave that one there. I have them pinned at the top of my Instagram if you want to read more about that. All right, let's go over to Trent Out Loud Instagram. I'm going to try to do this in 5 minutes so this doesn't stay too long. I would like to have the weekly Out Loud news be 30 minutes, but it's my first one, so bear with me. Montreal has a new skating rink. So I posted this. A lot of people kind of added their boo. All right, take me out for date night. Let's go skating. I've done it. I don't know if it was this exact one that I went to, but I did go skating outside. Skating outside. Of course, you guys get outside. I have gone to one of these skating rinks in Montreal, and it is super fun. And this one looks like really nice, really well lit. Like have like a bunch of colors, and it just looks really fun. So check it out if you're looking for a cool date night. Again, I also posted London, but I posted. Sorry, next topic. I made a post about London, but on Exo City, I posted more like London, like Big Ben, the clock, London Bridge, which is actually not London Bridge, it's London Tower. Anyways, so the more touristy things. But on Trent Out Loud, I posted Brixton, which is my new favorite city. Somebody took me out there, and they were like, yo, this is the biggest West Indian city in London, and if I'm not mistaken, it has, anyways, I'm not gonna say it. It's something about the Jamaican population being the maybe it's the second largest Jamaican population outside of Jamaica. I'm not 100% sure, but let me tell you, it's like little Jamaica. I had some amazing jerk pork, I had amazing jerk wings, amazing rum punch. Anyways, it's my new favorite place. I really love it out there. My next post was 1 year anniversary of how sneakers saved my life. Okay, I'm not going to get into the book right now, but shout out to everybody who has read it, who's bought it. Still available on Amazon. I can't believe it's been a year already. I love my book. I love the message it sends. It's really not anything about sneakers. I asked somebody the other day, I was like, yo, do you think with that title, How Sneakers Saved My Life, if people think the book is only about sneakers? And was like, it says How Sneakers Saved My Life, my entrepreneurial journey. So I'm not sure if that should have been the title or not. But anyways, for those who out there who are not in the sneaker industry, or even people who are in the sneaker industry, it's really not about sneakers. Sneakers is the catalyst. It's the premise. Well, not the premise, but it's the catalyst. It's me as a delinquent kid, growing up, I don't want to get into it. growing up in a household that had, a couple of arguments here or there. And me leaving the house at 17 years old, getting in trouble, being arrested a couple of times, et cetera, et cetera. My mom hates when I tell these stories, but it's, me like dropping out of school, not going to college, getting myself in trouble, not really knowing what I want to do, moving out, modeling. Am I going to do this? What am I going to do? And it was really me like kind of like bobbing and weaving through life. And it was really entrepreneurship and exclusivity that saved my life, because who knows where I would have ended up. So without the success of exclusivity, I talk about it in the book. I've had five failed businesses prior to making it with exclusivity. So that's the premise of the book. It's the trial and tribulations of my entrepreneurial journey. So shout out to me. Actually, let me give myself a round of applause. Hey. I've been wanting to write a book for like 13, 14 years, and there's so much variations of it, and it just ended up coming out. It was supposed to be a how-to book, how to live your truth or something. Anyways, it ended up just being an autobiography. And then book 2 came out, and I'm actually doing something else with it, which I'm not going to tell you guys about right now. But on to the final post. Actually, this is not a post. It's something I'm doing in my stories. And oh my gosh, this was super funny. I went grocery shopping on Wednesday, and somebody had said to me, I think it was like Monday or Tuesday, like, hey, I miss like the personal side of Trent Out Loud, because I'm always just posting. For those who've been following me a long time, I used to post like literally like waking up, going to the gym, getting on a flight, getting off of the flight. That like it was literally like every hour. It was ridiculous. And just in COVID, I was like, I need an Instagram break. So I stopped posting on my Instagram like that. And anyway, somebody was like, oh my gosh, we missed that. So I'm like, I'm in a grocery store, and I think I was looking at like peanut butter, if it was like smooth or crunchy. And I'm like, let me just post me shopping in the grocery store. The truth is, I actually took the pictures of the things and I kept them in my phone. And I'm like, I wonder if I should post this. The next day, I was like, let me post one and let me see. As soon as I posted it, literally like 2 minutes later, my friend texts me, is like, yo, dude, don't be that guy getting on Instagram saying, oh my gosh, I can't find a hot dog. Somebody tell me where the best hot dog is. And I was like, yo, are you joking? Like, I totally been thinking about this like the entire day, literally have anxiety saying like, should I post this? Should I be that guy? So he texts me, and then he actually texts me a joke, and he's like, "Oh, him and his dishwasher, like opening his dishwasher, like I'm having problems. I'm packing my dishwasher. Somebody come help me!" Like as a joke, trolling me. Anyways, so then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna erase this. This is stupid. So I go to erase it, and I look at my DMs, and there's literally like 15 people laughing because I had posted the peanut butter, and I posted like 2 other things. People, like 15 people DM me laughing. Then I look back at my stories, and then I had like 4 times the amount of people that normally review my stories. And then the poll was like the craziest poll that I've ever done. Anyway, so I was like, you know what? I'm not going to listen to this clown, my friend. I'm actually going to continue doing it. So then I just continued posting or whatever. Anyway, so it was just super funny. And I just continued doing it. And it was so like, most of the people were like, oh my gosh, it's so funny to see you back being Trent, being who I am. I'm funny. I like making jokes. I like doing stupid crap. So listen, I'm not going to, go back to how I was before in 2018, 19, where I'm posting 30 times a day and taking you through every single aspect of my life. Because, you do need to find balance. I talk about that in book number 2, how sneakers ruined my life. So it's just, me finding balance. But I would like to, just get back into my stories and have fun with my friends and my DMs, man. I made a lot of cool relationships on my Instagram. Some people who I've never met before, some people obviously who I do know, but it's a fun little community in there. So if you haven't joined me on my Instagram stories, I actually am announcing that I'm starting a new series along with this weekly series in my Instagram stories, and it's going to be ask a friend. So that's what I did when I posted the peanut butter. I was like, hey, I'm asking for a friend as a joke, like, hey, it's not really for me, but obviously it is for me. Anyway, so I over the weekend, like I said, my my nephew was playing hockey, and we drove up to Massachusetts to go and see him play. And I was in the car with my mom, my dad, and my aunt, and my sister was in the other car with her husband and the kids. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm stuck in here. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna get on my stories and I'm gonna let everybody know. So hopefully, I could get some entertainment in the car ride. Yo, it was hilarious. Like, we stopped in Plattsburgh. My mom going to TJ Maxx. My mom's a Jamaican mom. She's gonna, try to find every single savings, every little thing. And it's like, oh my gosh, what's the exchange rate on $10? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely crazy. She's a typical mom, made everybody sandwiches, brought food, drinks, and she doesn't even bring individual drinks. It's like a drink and there's cups outside. I'm like, listen, I'm going to get some food. Anyways, I got food. She got mad at me. Anyways, it was so funny. Anyway, so I took everybody on the journey with me. My nephew actually lost the game, which sucked, but hey, even Michael Jordan lose games sometimes. It was really funny. There was a girl, he's number 9. There was a girl in the stand saying number 9 is looking fine. My sister was like, oh, that can't be for him. There must be a mistake. Anyways, it was really, really funny because, she's like a typical mom being in denial that her son is in Massachusetts and he could have a girl that likes him is making a sign. Anyways, he said it's not her. So he said it's not his girlfriend and it was a mistake or whatever. Anyways, it was jokes. So shout out to everybody that was on my stories, cracking jokes with me in my comment section. Like I said, I am not going to be there daily and, exposing my entire life, but I will kind of bring you guys along with me to do some funny things. And also what I am going to do daily, because I do like the ask a friend, asking for a friend, I am going to do these polls. I think it's going to be really fun. It won't only stay with food. I'm wondering if I could do some sexual things, but very light, like positions or something. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Follow me on Trent Out Loud on Instagram, on all social platforms. I'm on Snapchat, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. And also follow me on Exclusivity on Instagram and also all other social platforms, and Exclusivity on YouTube. Exclusivity is going to be really more news related topics, and Trent Out Loud will be more personal, more intimate things, not as much. Anyways, if you enjoyed this podcast, if you enjoyed this show, follow me on both Instagram accounts. Check out my stories on Trent Out Loud. This was super fun. And thanks for joining me. We'll see you again soon. I'm out. Hey. Woo! Great show, guys. Thank you. Peace.